Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play God of War, where I'm still here in Muspelheim because I would like to try a few more challenges today. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about Odin, as I mentioned in the previous episode. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time already, but there never really was a good opportunity to do so. And I also kind of wanted to wait a while and see if the game is going to give us more information about him. But I don't think that will be the case, so that's where I come in. Although I will mostly focus on linguistic and historical aspects and not so much the mythological ones, because that would just be too much. And I actually think that Odin is a very interesting and unique mythological character. But when you look at modern portrayals of Odin, like in modern fiction or pop culture or whatever, he's often portrayed as some kind of Germanic Jupiter, which is an obvious choice, I guess, since, he is the father of the gods and the king of the gods and so on. But that's really only one aspect of his character, and there's a lot about him that's rather unusual for an archetypical king of the gods. So that would suggest that he didn't start out as the king of the gods, and I think I mentioned it when I talked about Tyr. Odin may have been an upstart, and he became so popular that he replaced or merged with the previous chief deity of the Germanic pantheon. For example, if you look at a god like Thor, you can find a lot of very similar deities in other European mythologies. A god of thunder with a hammer or mace or bolt, and he's connected to the worship of sacred oak trees. So there's quite a few of them. Thor, Jupiter, Zeus, Celtic Taranis, Slavic Perun, and so on. And that would suggest that there is maybe a common origin of all these different deities from way back when all of these different cultures were still one culture. So way back before they branched off into Italic, Germanic, Celtic tribes and so on. And that would have been, I don't know, about 4,000 years ago maybe. Odin, on the other hand, or his predecessor Woden, seems to be rather unique to Germanic mythology, and he might not even have been universal to all Germanic tribes. And I have read some sources that suggest that there may have been some similarities with the Celtic, or in this case Gallic, god Lugus. So the origins of Odin may have been inspired by contact with continental Celtic tribes, maybe around 2,500 years ago or onwards from there. And that would have been in what is modern-day South and Western Germany. But the really first clue about Woden comes from Latin sources. So in the first century CE, we have the Roman writer Tacitus, who wrote about the culture and religion of the Germanic tribes living in or just outside of the Roman Empire. And he mentions that the main deity of these tribes is Mercury, which seems a bit odd, because why would Germanic tribes be worshipping a Roman deity? Well, obviously they didn't. But the Romans had the habit that whenever they encountered a foreign religion, they would just assume that these were, for the most part, the same gods as their own, just with different names. So they would look for similarities and then just slap Roman names onto them. So, for example, the Etruscan Tinia was Jupiter to the Romans, and the Greek Zeus was also Jupiter. Well, in this case, he kinda is Jupiter because these gods share the same origin. But the Romans would do the same to religions that are completely unrelated as well. So the Semitic Baal was also Jupiter, and the Egyptian Amun was also Jupiter, and so on. So in that regard, it is already kind of strange that Tacitus would identify this Germanic Mercury as the chief deity, but not equate him with Jupiter as they did with all the other, chief deities of other religions. And by the way, the aforementioned Celtic Lugus was also identified as Mercury by the Romans, so that could be another hint that there is a connection between these two deities. So how do we even know that Tacitus was talking about Woden, because he never actually mentions his original name, it's always just Mercury. But we do have other sources for this, specifically like early medieval sources that make that connection. So they mention Woden by name and then say that he was called Mercury by the Romans. So that comparison seems to have been constant and going on for several centuries at least. So it's a pretty good connection. And another good clue is if you compare the names of the weekdays in Germanic languages with Latin-based languages, or Latin, because at some point in late antiquity, probably, the Germanic tribes adopted the Roman 7-day week system. Well, originally this was developed in ancient Mesopotamia, then adopted by the Greeks, and they spread it over very large parts of Europe and Asia during the time of Hellenism. And in this system, every day of the week is named after, celestial object and or a corresponding deity. So the sun, the moon, and the planets from Mercury to Saturn, minus Earth, obviously. And when the Germanic tribes adopted the system, they replaced the names of the Roman deities with Germanic ones. I think I already mentioned that Tuesday is named after Tyr, or Ziu back then, and he replaces the Roman Mass, so it's Dies Martis in Latin, which means we have one god of war replacing another god of war. So there's a pretty obvious connection here. And I guess the most famous example here is, of course, Thursday, which is indeed the day of Thor, or Thuna back then. And he replaced, interestingly enough, Jupiter. Now, I think I did mention before that Zeus and Jupiter both seem to be a combination of the sky god and the thunder god, while in the Germanic mythology the thunder god is still separate. But it seems to have been like the most striking aspect, no pun intended, to the people back then. So when they saw Jupiter, they thought, okay, it's a thunder god, so it's gotta be Thor, right, or Thuna. And then we have obviously Friday, the Latin day of Venus, and she was replaced with probably not Freya, but Frigg. But while Freya and Frigg seem to be separate personas in Viking Age mythology, they were probably just one goddess in antiquity, so it's the day of Frigg, Freya, depending on how you want to look at it. And then there's obviously Monday and Sunday. I mean, these are straightforward. Luna and Sol replaced with Mani and Sona, moon and sun. And then there's the weird case of Saturday. Apparently they couldn't find a decent replacement for Saturn, so they just didn't change the name at all. So it's still the day of Saturn in modern English. But if you've been keeping track, the day that's still missing is Wednesday, and that is indeed the day of Woden. So it should give you an idea why it's spelled the way it is. Wednesday, Woden's Day. I mean, English spelling is kind of archaic, that is to say, weird. But yeah, in the Latin version, that is indeed the day of Mercury. So again, there is the connection between Woden and Mercury. And why Mercury, you may ask? What kind of deity was Woden that they thought Mercury would be a good fit for him? Um, well, maybe for that we should look at his name. So the origin of the name is reconstructed as Proto-Germanic Wodanas, the ending as meaning Lord or God. And the first part, Wodas, is a bit more complex. There is like a descendant of that word in modern German, and that word is Wut, which nowadays means fury, anger, or rage. But historically it was a bit more complex, and you can kind of see that in some German compound words like Sammelwut or Ordnungswut, which literally would translate to collector rage or order rage. But a more proper translation would be obsession. So if you have Sammelwut, you are obsessed with collecting something. And if you have Ordnungswut, you are obsessed with tidiness and so on. And then we have a rather distant related cousin in Latin, ironically in the name Vatican. Vatican means, translated, place of prophecy. And that already was the name of that place before it became a Christian site. And it is derived from the Latin word vates, which means seer or prophet, and it is related to a similar Celtic word. So again, we kind of have a potential Celtic connection here for Woden. And now you may ask, how does this all go together? Fury, obsession, seer, prophecy, and so on. Well, I mean, just think about what I talked about in the last episode, that shamanic practice of putting yourself in a spiritual trance or ecstasy in order to receive visions, like Odin did when he hung himself from a tree. That basically seems to be the origin of his name. So you could translate Wodanas as Lord of Prophecy, or maybe more literally Lord of Frenzy. And it's supposed to mean like a spiritual type of frenzy. And you can still see a lot of that in Viking Age Odin. So, for example, he was the favorite god of the skulls, that is, the North poets. Because, I mean, for once, his connection to the runes, of course, but also because they credited him with poetic inspiration. And he also was the god of the berserkers, these particularly fierce warriors who put themselves into some kind of battle rage that made them immune to pain. And some psychotropic mushrooms may have been involved here, we don't really know about that. And he was the god of magic, which was pretty unusual because magic, that is Seder, was apparently considered to be a mostly female thing. So, men are warriors, magic, that is something that women do. So it's really unusual to have a god that at the same time is the god of poetry, the god of wisdom and knowledge, but also the god of blood rage, the god who welcomes the fallen warriors into Valhalla, and also occupies himself with quote-unquote unmanly stuff like magic. So finally, to circle back to Mercury now, that's where we can see some connection here. So Mercury was also a god of magic and divination. He was the patron of travelers, and Odin is also called the Wanderer because he was said to wander the earth in search of knowledge and so on. So that would explain why Mercury was seen as a better fit for Woden than, say, Jupiter, even though they were both at the top of the pantheon. And I mean, you can see some hints of that in this game. His interest in magic, his search for knowledge. But honestly, compared to the rather complex mythological character, the Odin in this game comes across as pretty one-dimensional, because we really only have Mimir's story to go by. But I mean, that's why I'm here, to broaden the horizon a little bit, I guess. But yeah, I guess that's enough for now. I already talked longer than I thought, but I hope I gave you a bit more background information on this mythological character. Now, I believe we have one more challenge this sword over here. Let's have a look at it. Don't let enemies capture Atreus.
Prepare yourself, boy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, that is rather unusual. I guess it means I should stay close to Atreus to make sure they don't capture him. Alright, let's do it. I'm going to throw you into the lava. There we go. You stay close with me, boy. Okay, now we have more Draugrs coming from over here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to last for a certain amount of time or if they're just going to stop attacking at some point. Okay. I need more enemies. Okay, here we go. So far, only Draugr. Wave complete. Stay focused. Okay, so apparently they will arrive in different waves. And apparently the next one is also a Draugr. Atreus capture count 0 of 3. Okay, so apparently it's okay if he gets captured at least twice. But if he gets captured 3 times, the challenge will be a failure. Okay. I think I can do this. Uh-oh, well, now things are getting a little bit more serious here. Okay, I hope you're still okay over here, Atreus. Where are you, by the way? I'm trying to stun the ogre here so we can use him against the other enemies. There we go. Alright. There we go. Apparently that's all the enemies we have here. Okay. Let's kill the ogre. Let's pick up some health. Wave complete, stay focused. I am completely focused. Is there an enemy nearby? Oh, okay, now we are looking at significantly stronger enemies. Okay. Let's get rid of the stupid knight first. There we go. And I guess I'm going to use the blade in these guys. Alright. Oh no, you get away from Atreus. And let's use the old stun lock trick. Okay, well, this actually wasn't difficult. I mean, he wasn't captured even once. Okay, there we go. Let's grab our reward. And more smoldering embers.
I see the way up.
Flames. Okay, so we're done with this arena, which means there's 2 arenas.
There goes
left.
my arm here.
So that's 4 more challenges. Okay, not sure if I will be able to finish them all today. Kind of depends on how long they will be. Okay, this is just the gate. But I guess this is where we need to go.
Okay, my eyes are really stinging now. And my throat hurts.
Well, it wouldn't be a challenge without a little challenge, would it?
It's easy to say for someone who doesn't have a throat. I mean, I guess he has part of the throat.
There's a sword! What's this? The fifth?
I think so. So yeah, 2 more challenges here, and then arena number 6 would be the last. Let's do it. Kill enemies to increase time.
I am.
Okay. Well, I guess I will try. So, got some frosty guys over here. And already a stupid knight. And I really hate the knights. I don't know, maybe I should focus on the easier to kill enemies first so that I get enough time to kill the big guy. Maybe that would be a good strategy. Oh, well. Now, let's focus on you over here. And now, more runes for you. Alright. Come on. He's almost dead. There we go. Stay focused. Okay. Got another wave coming here. Okay, nightmares are easy to kill. Shouldn't be too difficult to... Oh, well, and now we got some wolves here. Okay, let's try to kill the nightmares first. Just to gain a little bit more time. Okay. There we go. Rune for you. And you are dead. Wave complete. Stay focused. Okay, so whenever a new wave starts, my time gets reset. Uh-oh, uh-oh. What the hell? Really? An ancient? It's just great. Okay, again, let's start with the smaller guys, I guess. Just to gain some time. And then we need to deal with the ancient. Alright. There we go. Okay, I guess I'm just trying to do as much damage as possible. Not caring about my own damage all that much. Alright, let's just throw all the stuff at him. Alright. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Not sure if that's going to be enough to finish him. It might be. Well, not quite, but I have a lot of time left to finish him off. Okay. There we go. And that's
impressive,
it.
Brothers.
Okay, okay. This wasn't too bad. Let's grab the reward. More embers, more Hexsilver, more Crest of Flames. And yeah, my health doesn't get reset after the challenge, but I think at the beginning of the challenge. So, I always start with full health, I think. Anyway, I guess we have time for another one. Let's do it. Avoid taking damage. Oh dear.
Here they come.
I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I mean, in that case, my health is irrelevant anyway, because it doesn't matter how much health I have if I just have to avoid taking damage. Okay, maybe I will just try to stay away from the enemies for now, and Atreus can try to distract them and damage them with his arrows. And I guess I can also use some throws with my axe. Alright, maybe now I should go in and finish them off. Alright. So apparently I have 16 more enemies to survive. Oh, nightmare, you say? Well, this is a little bit more problematic because now we have enemies that can attack from a distance. Yep. Like these guys over here. And like this guy. Okay. Let's keep our guard up. And now he's stunned and I can go in safely.
More just showed up back here.
Of course I do. Let's see. Let's make sure no one can spawn behind me. Also, I may want to use this for a second. And maybe a rune while we're at it. But now we can finish off these guys quite safely. Right. And we already have the next wave. 6 more enemies. I mean, maybe the blades are not such a bad idea here because they mean I can stay at a distance more so than with my axe. Right. Now, go in here with a runic attack. I think I have another rune available here. Very nice. Alright. 4 more enemies, and I think it's actually all the 4 that are right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. This is the last one. Let's not get careless now.
Well, I think you've gotten pretty good at that.
Yep, I think so too. Again, this wasn't too difficult. I do believe that my new armor is helping me for the most part. I mean, in this challenge, it doesn't matter what armor you wear because it's just about not getting hit. But in the previous challenges, I think having this new armor certainly made things easier for me. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's check out the final arena as well. 2 more challenges. Not sure if I will be able to finish both of them today.
If we could take this temperature and combine it with Helheim's, it'd probably be perfect.
And if the All-Father had wings, he'd be a dragon.
Huh?
Don't mind Mimir. Sometimes he's just talking bullshit. Although technically that is what happened during creation, right? Combining Muspelheim and Niflheim, and that created the world. That's a lot of climbing that we need to do here.
I don't usually get nervous when we climb. But don't slip.
I strongly concur.
Oh, it's okay. Kratos is just going to do another one of his shield tricks where he lands on his shield. Right? Oh! Oh! That...
A Valkyrie!
Yeah.
Careful, lads.
So, it's not another sword, it's a Valkyrie. Well, I mean, we made it this far. I guess we will try to defeat this one.
Ready yourself.
Gundul. That's an interesting name. Alright, let me use my runes on you, all of you. And I'm doing a good amount of damage here. I'm quite happy with that. Okay, now I have to be careful because I have used up all my runes. And now I have to fight her normally. Okay, I'm familiar with that kind of attack. Okay, what are you doing now? That is a new kind of attack, kinda.
Okay, brother.
Not really. Not really. Uh-oh, what are you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, the good news is, I was doing a lot of damage to her, but, she was doing a lot of damage to me too. So maybe I'm just going to start over again. And... well, I guess I should have used the crystal because it's like the rage crystal and it gives me like rage, and the rage may have been enough to finish her off. So yeah, I should have used the resurrection crystal here. But I think we can do this. This worked better than I expected. Let's start by using all the runes we have. And another one. Okay, I'm off for a second. Now let's see what she's going to do. Okay, that is something unblockable. Uh-oh. And now she's summoning like fire. Alright, interesting. And oh, another unblockable. Seriously, lady? Can I pick up the health crystal? No. Okay, I'm going to use the resurrection crystal now, and hopefully, the rage will finish off. Let's do it. Well, it might not finish off completely, but hopefully it will damage her enough that I can finish her off after that. Alright. I have more runes. And another one. And another one. And that's it. Okay. Ooh. There we go.
Freedom.
That's right, milady. You are free.
You have destroyed my physical form. I have nothing to give but my gratitude.
I guess that's all we need.
Gratitude does not pay for weapon upkeep, boy.
Valhalla awaits. Farewell.
Well, maybe the material she left behind is going to pay for it.
Another Valkyrie rescue. Although, you'd think if they wanted to be killed, they'd make it a little easier for us.
Not sure they even have a choice in the matter, lad.
What do you mean?
Whatever made them this way, they are mad with rage.
How do you know?
I know.
Yeah, I think Kratos knows a thing or two about being mad with rage. So I guess it's kinda ironic that the rage killed them. Kratos' rage. Okay, what do you have for us? Gauntlets of the Valkyrie, epic wrist armor. Now you suddenly start dropping armor? I think the previous Valkyries didn't do that. And I just crafted a new armor. A true warrior's armor, forged of metals from Valhalla. A Valkyrie's essence favors well-rounded stats. I will have a look at that in a second. Raging Inferno of Muspelheim, legendary. The hottest fire from the peak of Muspelheim used to unlock an upgrade to a powerful item. Keine Weg. Perfect Asgardian Steel. A flawless hardened piece of Asgardian Valkyrie armor used to upgrade armor. Alright. More Asgardian Steel. Leviathan's Eye, epic enchantment. Increases damage of all egg throws by 6%. And more Asgardian Steel. I think that will pay for weapons upkeep, Kratos. In addition to that, we have some chests over here. Okay, more smoldering embers. I believe I can use them to craft some armor. Not sure if I want to. I do want to have a look at the armor that
The voice is impressed.
I just
He
got.
says for anyone that can beat a Valkyrie, he'll unlock a new level of challenges. I think all the swords just came back.
Oh, great! Great! I just finished them, and you want me to do it all over again? Yeah, I guess so. But maybe not today. Let's have a look at this.
Now he wants to know if we're ready for the ultimate challenge.
Certus Hidden Trials. Prove yourself. Keys required. Okay. I need keys.
It is
Where do
not
I
the
find
time
them?
for this.
Aw.
Oh. Atreus is so disappointed. I want to kill more monsters. But okay, let me have a look at that armor. Well, I mean, again, I will have to upgrade it first, I suppose. Test it and see if I want to use it. More runic, more vitality. Sure, I may wanna have a look at this later. Yeah, but I guess for the time being I'm going to leave Muspelheim behind. I finished everything there is to do here. Mystic Gateways and Valkyries. Now, obviously, I'm still missing a bunch of Valkyries. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, 5 of 8. And presumably they are not in Midgard because I already defeated all the Valkyries in Midgard, which means they must be somewhere else. I seem to remember that there was a magical door back in Alfheim. And I guess I can make this episode a while longer, and we will return to Alfheim and have a look at that Valkyrie. How about that? Let's use this portal over here and return to the travel room, which I guess would be Brock's shop.
Here's something I can't figure out. Odin wants to prevent Ragnarok, but the serpent's already been there and seen it. So hasn't he already failed?
Fate's a tricky thing, lad. And Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome. Remind me later to tell you about the wolves.
Which wolves in particular? Skull and Hati? Or the Fenris wolf who's going to kill Odin? Probably that one. Let's see, do we have new dialogue? Yes, we do.
Something else we can do for you?
Nah, just glad you guys worked it out.
Ah. Well, I could say the same to you.
I guess I was getting a bit full of myself.
Told him what he needed to hear, how's it sounds to me.
Just the same. I'm sorry for how I spoke to you, Sindri. You forgive me?
Already have. Like you said, it all worked out. Now, let us get back to work before I get sentimental.
That's the same dialogue we already had. Yeah, as I mentioned, sometimes the dialogue just comes back because it doesn't really save it. But whatever. Let's
Wait.
use...
A voice. From the sword. It says we can go this way.
Which way? Huh? What are you talking about? We could always go this way. No idea what he means. But yeah, I would like to return to Alfheim. Specifically to that one magical door, which I guess will house another Valkyrie. Niflheim, Asgard, Radalfheim, Helheim, Alfheim. Okay, let's go.
Come here. Why do you have Bifrost crystals in your eyes?
A loving gift from the giants. Since I used to do so much traveling between realms, they thought it would be more convenient for me than having a crystal I could lose.
Did it hurt?
No, because I wisely fortified myself with 16 cups of Billow Maiden's ale. Got so inebriated, I tried convincing the giants to put them in my nipples instead. Almost talked them into it too. Can you imagine? Mimir of the Bifrost teats. Ah, those were the days.
Ew.
Okay, I'll stop now.
Atreus is not impressed. Not impressed at all. When the giants trusted someone enough to help them travel the realms, they'd put Bifrost crystals in their eyes. Tyr had them, and so does Mimir. Okay. Now, we haven't been here quite some time. So I don't really remember if we have any portals in the vicinity of the magical door. We don't really have any portals at all. How unfortunate. But if I'm not mistaken, the magical door was somewhere on one of these shores. So I guess we will have to go there on foot, which might take a while. So I guess I'll bring you back once I have arrived there, because...
Alfheim.
Oh,
I missed
no.
its gentle breeze and the sweet smell of honeysuckle and blood. Well, judging by the sky, the light elves are in control of the light this time.
Explain.
You see, the light elves and dark elves...
Are always fighting over the light. That part we know.
But did you also know that control of the light has changed hands no less than 213 times?
Really?
It's true. Each side believes itself the rightful keepers of the light and argue they're simply fighting for survival. But the fact of the matter is, the war has been going on so long, they don't know who they are without it.
Okay, good to know. But yeah, I will make my way back to that shore, and I will bring you back once I've arrived, or if something unusual happens, or any more dialogue happens, or whatever.
I didn't think we'd see you out here, since you and Brock got back together. Everything okay?
Oh, better than ever. You know, I really think we've both grown in our years apart.
So how come you're back here?
Just catching some fresh air. Look, I love my brother, but he still smells like a fetid dung pot.
Well, I can kinda understand that.
So, I heard you and Brock are kind of famous.
Well, you're half right. Whatever did you hear?
That you made Thor's hammer.
Oh, yes, we did do that. Mjolnir put us on the map. It was a legendary run. Gods and kings knew our brand. We really did make quite a team.
So what happened?
Oh, well, that's a long story. Things happened that made it difficult to find that certain spark, you know? Inspiration is a fickle mistress.
Huh?
Oh, enough distractions. You see the mess I have to clean up around here?
Yeah, I don't want to keep you from that. However,
I can do whatever you need.
it occurred to me that I should probably buy another resurrection stone because I used up mine in that previous battle. Sure, let's take another berserker stone. I mean, that might help me if a similar situation happens like last
Till
time.
we meet again, my friends.
Right. I was actually attacked by some dark elves on my way here, so they still exist.
So, clear this up for me. Svartalfheim means land of the Dark Elves, right?
Right.
But you said the Dark Elves have been here now for a really long time. And anyway, aren't dwarves supposed to be from Svartalfheim? They don't look like Dark Elves.
Don't you think so? Then you are vastly more perceptive than the Aesir. They're the ones who apparently can't tell the difference. And they're the ones who came up with that name. Dwarves actually call their home realm Nidavellir.
So the Dark Elves aren't from Svartalfheim at all.
Not even a bit. They're just elves of another colour. Nobody knows who came first, but they all come from Alfheim.
Why do they fight all the time if they're really the same?
That is adorable.
Huh?
It is the way of the world.
Oh. Well, that's sad.
Well, I guess that answers my questions where the Dark Elves come from. Whether they are actually from Alfheim or Svartalfheim. They're not. Svartalfheim is the home of the dwarves, as it is in Norse mythology. Now, I do believe that the magical door was over here. Let's check it out. Ooh. I can already hear some enemies. Yep. Look at that. Oh, level 6 guy. Apparently the enemies here are getting more powerful as well. So I'm even going to use all my runes on you. Alright, there we go. I think this one dropped something as well. Yep. Jack, a sign of menace. Now, where was that magical door? Not in here. I think it was in here. Yep, there we go. Let's check this out. No. And yeah, this looks like another hidden chamber, of which there are apparently 7, even though we need 8 Valkyrie helmets. So 1 Valkyrie is not inside a chamber. I mean, where else could Valkyries be? I guess one could be in Helheim. I remember there were some places during our first visit to Helheim that I couldn't access because I needed Atreus' arrows, so maybe I should go back there, this time with Atreus, and check it out. And then maybe another one in Niflheim, but we can't get there yet. I will pick up the loot later. Let's just take a look at the Valkyrie.
Let me guess, there's a Valkyrie in here.
Yep.
Well, are we going to fight her? There's a trapped spirit in there.
Quiet, head.
Yep, let's do it.
Good luck, friends.
Good luck indeed. Good luck indeed. I'm just going to start with the old strategy of switching weapons. And again, I'm doing a lot of damage here, so That is good. Oh, I should have evaded in a different direction, I think. Alright. Oh no, what are you doing? That is new. That is definitely something new. Alright. I already have another room for you, lady. And another one. Okay, this time I evaded in the proper direction. Up. Again, damage-wise, I think we're doing fine. But, she's doing a lot of damage herself. So, again, I will use the crystal. Good thing I did pick this up before we came here. Also, let me wrap up the health crystals just in case. Alright, now we are back in our normal mode here. But again, with a few more runes, I think we should be able to finish her off. There we go. Okay. That's 2 valkyries in one episode.
Thank you. I am free. But why was I imprisoned?
We think your queen did this to you.
But why would Sigrun hinder our duty?
That's the mystery we're trying to solve, milady. Can you think of any reason she would have to do this?
No. Without the Valkyries, those who died in battle will not see Valhalla. Helheim will overflow with the souls of the departed, and drown Midgard in a sea of vengeful corpses. No greater shame exists for a Valkyrie. I must go. Attempt to staunch the bleeding. Farewell.
Farewell, I guess.
I believe you have your answer, Head. The Queen opposes Odin. She imprisoned the Valkyries to defy him.
Sigrun hated Odin, no doubt about that. But her duty, her responsibility... Would she really forsake these things to get back at Odin? I don't believe it.
I do. Hate is stronger than duty.
We have to find the queen. We have to stop her. I'm sorry, Mimir.
Aye, don't be sorry, lad. Sigrun brought this on herself. I only wish... Well, wishing only gets you so far.
How will we find her?
I'm afraid I don't know. She could be anywhere, any realm.
We'll find her. We have to. All of Midgard is counting on us.
I mean, we have at least like 2 more Valkyries to go, right? So maybe once
Gotcha!
we defeated all of them, the queen will appear. More perfect as Guardian Steel. And another piece of armor, Waist Guard of the Valkyrie. Huh. I definitely have to take a look at that. Ivaldi's corrupted mind, epic enchantment. Nearby enemies within 15 meters are weakened. Ooh. And more. Okay, guess I don't really need any of that.
Betray us! To me!
I will quickly pick up all the other loot around here. And then I will return to Brock's shop to do some crafting and upgrading, maybe with the new pieces of armor that I found. I will be recording that because it's possible that we get some more dialogue when we travel Yggdrasil. So I'm not going to end the episode just yet, but once we went through Yggdrasil. Okay, got another enchantment here, and these are just random pieces of text, right? Okay, let's use the portal here. And let's return to Brock's shop. Well, it looks like they don't actually have anything to say at the moment. Apparently we exhausted Mimir's dialogue, at least for now. Okay, well in that case, I guess we can just end the episode here. I may actually go and check out Helheim again in the next episode to see if we can find another Valkyrie. And I may want to do one or two other things, and after that maybe it's time to go back to the main story. But for the time being, let's call it a day as always. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.